guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily and today I'll be reviewing my first ever Lego Harry Potter set. This is set number 76393 and it's called Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. I think we can see why. It's for ages 10 and up and it comes with 1,673 pieces. Now, initially when people saw this set, a lot of people were saying like, oh, it looks kind of creepy, they look like dolls. And while I kind of do see what they were saying, like it kind of makes sense, I don't think they're creepy. Like they just look like giant minifigures to me, which is obviously the point. That's what they are. And also the build techniques on these things. That's pretty much why I wanted this set in the first place, was just to see Lego's official take on a buildable minifigure. And it's pretty complex. Like I actually struggled a little bit with the build. There's a lot of really weird techniques. There's a lot of gears in the middle that do make it opposable. They move exactly the same way as a normal minifigure would move, which is also kind of a problem, but hear me out. So with Harry's head, he does move quite a bit, right? But there's also no hair to stop that movement from happening. Whereas with Hermione, she does have head movement, but her hair gets in the way. So really, it just wobbles a little bit back and forth. So I guess I do wish that there was a little bit more movement in her head. Also with both of these builds, they're quite sturdy. And I was a little bit worried about that, like how easily would they topple over? Would they actually be able to hold their positions? And they really do quite well. I mean, Harry will fall over, you know, like any minifigure would if you lose that center of balance. But with the arms, they do move quite well. The arms are a little bit more tricky to work with just because they do kind of spring a little bit. As you can kind of see, it has only like a few different positions it really wants to be in. And I think this is all a little bit easier to see with Hermione, so let's take a closer look at her. So for her arms, they do rotate a bit like this, which is nice because you can move that wand around. And I do like both of the wand features. Her wand actually features a nice little purple stick inside of it, whereas Harry's features a red one. I don't actually know the significance in that. So please, all of you hardcore Harry Potter fans out there, please leave me a comment below, like why does he have a little red thing in his wand where she has purple? Like please let me know, I would love to know. Anyways, it does move around quite well, which is nice. And then with her arms as well, we do see that kind of like spring action with them, which isn't a bad thing, but I do wish that they would stay put a little bit better than they do. And with both of these minifigures, they really did do a good job making them sturdy so they don't fall over. Like even Hermione, you can kind of see her torso does move a little bit back and forth. But like even as I do this, I'm not worried about her falling over. I really do see both of these as great display pieces because they don't really fall over too easily at all. Like, I mean, obviously don't just like knock it over, it'll fall. But they do stand up pretty well. And they also do have that same motion that minifigures have. As you can see here with the legs, you can kind of pose them walking like this, which is kind of interesting. I'm curious to see how easy it would be to actually animate these in stop motion. So maybe we'll try that at some point. I'm not sure how easy that'll be. Again, her head doesn't really move, so that is quite limiting. But anyways, you do see that there is a ton of motion in the legs here. They do sit exactly the same way as a minifigure would sit. So you can set her down and pose her like that. You can stand her up. You can make her walking. There's a lot of different options you have with these, which is really cool. Again, they're just giant minifigures, and the Lego designers did a great job really recreating these motions in a bigger scale, I guess you could say. And then for the hair on both of these, it was really complex. Like the build process for those was a little bit difficult, but it's just because there's so much detail, which I love. This hair texture just looks absolutely amazing. It's just a ton of slope pieces. They really smoothed both of these over really well. There's a few studs on top, but I love that extra texture that it does add to it. And once again, this is my first ever Harry Potter set that I've ever built, so I am a total Harry Potter newbie, but I am loving it so far. But I do have a question for you guys. Why does she have this gray stripe around the bottom of her legs? Is that just because Hermione typically has dual molded legs? I really don't know, so please, Harry Potter fans out there, leave me a comment below. Let me know why that is if you do know. And then as for the printed piece situation in this set, there are no stickers at all, which is just fantastic. I am not a fan of stickers. Printed pieces on these just look so much better. And so in fact, the two torso printings are exactly the same. However, the two different face printings are different. Obviously, Hermione looks a lot different than Harry, so that definitely makes sense. But then on Harry's forehead, he actually has a scar, which was difficult to see from any of the photos, but I'm glad that they included it because obviously, like, he's Harry Potter, he needs a scar. And then for me personally, what I plan to do with these is just put them on display behind me on my display wall because I just love them. I think they look really cool. It's this whole new buildable minifigure thing that Lego's doing, and I am here for it. I'm really excited to see what they do next. Maybe we'll get like a Luke and Leia or a Luke and Darth Vader. Something like that would be really cool for the Star Wars fans out there. And even though these are for ages 10 and up, I do see these more as a display piece rather than a kid's toy. I guess kids could play with these, you know, but they're definitely meant, ooh, her hair just came off, there we go. She's a little delicate. But yeah, I definitely see these more as a display piece. Kids could probably be creative with it, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't see how you could really play with these as much as like an actual Harry Potter set or a Hogwarts castle or something more exciting like that. But overall, I am very happy with this purchase. This was my first ever Harry Potter set, and I do not regret this at all. I think they look really cool. I can't wait to put them on display. Plus, they were really fun to build. It was pretty complex, to be fair. There were some pretty complex builds, again, especially the hair. Little bit much to do, but they do look absolutely great, and I love how they do move just like normal minifigures do. You can sit them down, you can stand them up. There's so much you can do with these, so much potential for future characters, and so I'm just excited to see what LEGO does next. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. I would really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.